Hello and welcome to another EA Sports UFC4 video, and today we got an extra special banger for you as it's all about the 5 keys to success. So if you're a new player, you can definitely use these tips, or even if you're a vet, there may be one nuance to take your game to the next level. Either way, I'm getting back to that old school. I'm a boxer working really hard on these graphics, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get this video to 250 likes. Don't forget to join the I'm a Boxer Gaming Discord to contact me or get notified on the latest news and events. Everything UFC4, a link will be in the description below. I haven't played in a while and jumped right on ranked championships against some really good players, but these fundamentals led me right to victory. Without further ado, let's get right into the fights. The first matchup was against a very talented DFW King. Has a lot of experience in the game and always have a tough matchup whenever I face him. Okay, so the first key is about having great ground defense, getting back to your feet if you want to stay on your feet. Now, in this case, against DFW King, he was really good at setting up that takedown. And the way that he would do it, he would do a lunge. I thought something was coming up high, and I could not stay on my feet. You need to have different ways to get back to your feet. One thing, if I know players are going to fake that transition, I'll gamble on that transition fake in just a simple get up. So if somebody's doing a lot of transition fakes, then just go ahead and do your transition, get back to your feet. But you need to have multiple ways to get back to your feet. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is I can't do the same thing because I know that he's sitting there waiting on that. Now, here's a tip for the new players: how to get a sweep from the full guard position. Go full guard to build that grapple advantage, and then move your right stick toward the get up, but in the middle of that, hold L1. That will change to half guard, and it is a huge advantage because right here, I was able to hold a position for the entire round, and that's the difference between winning and losing a fight sometimes. If you can establish your dominant position for the remainder of the round just because you know how to reverse or you know how to get back up, it's huge. Okay, now I get taken down again. We know you can use the cage to get up. That's a very fast transition to get up. Okay, but that's not the key here. A lot of people don't know this one. When somebody has your back, you should always hold LT-RT, which is defending the takedown. Because if they go high, you have enough time to defend the backpack choke. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So right here, holding LT-RT and I defend the takedown, no problem. But you ask yourself, well, what about if they go high and they take that backpack and then they get you in the choke? Well, we're getting ready to see that now. My opponent has that slick takedown again. I try to use that cage to get back up, and he transition blocks me. Okay, but don't let that deter you because that's still a very fast get up to use that cage to get back to your feet. So here, able to use the cage to get back to my feet, but I'm not out of danger yet because my opponent is trying to take my back. Again, I'm holding LT-RT, but when I release LT, then I'm defending the high choke. You have enough time to defend both on reaction. So on reaction, you can defend that. I was able to get the nice victory there against a very high level opponent. All right, my second match was up against another very good opponent, very dangerous on the feet here. As you can see, he has a lot of experience, and this spinning back kick, you cannot get hit by it. And a lot of people don't know this. I was in trouble right here, had got rocked. But if you circle to the inside on a spinning back kick, it's going to evade, but you want to follow that up with a check hook, and it is a game changer. So that's the second tip. Circle to the inside and then throw that check hook if somebody is spamming those spinning back kicks, because this will change the complexion of the match. As you can see here, once it gets to the ground, it's all over. But it started on the feet. It started with circling to the inside because I know my opponent was looking for that spinning back kick. Make them pay. Okay, now facing a very dangerous striker using Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But Kamaru Usman is no slouch himself. 92 jab, 95 straight. But you also got to take into consideration his move level is a 5-star for the jab and the straight. So you ask yourself, what does that mean? That means that it has better animations, could be a lot faster. Those move levels have intangibles that even separate from what you see in terms of the stat of that punch power. Okay, so you got to take into consideration the move levels. Here, you can't underestimate someone like a Max Holloway that may only have a 88 power, but 5 in the move level. Okay, now a lot of times I face a lot of opponents that are better than me in the striking, but if I can bait them into a trade whenever I have the slight head health advantage, that's all I'm looking for. And then I'm just going to trade and eat my shots also, baiting my opponent into a trade. And right here, I know when it's okay to trade, okay? So if I just hurt my opponent just a little bit, then I'm going to trade whenever I know that my head health is a lot higher. I'm just going to trade those strikes, and it really doesn't matter. I'm just winging shots. Straightforward tip right there. Okay, now this tip is going to be really nuanced. And this is kind of like the key when a lot of the high level players, and I really don't see a lot of people talking about it. All right, so of course we know whenever you give ground, that's going to evade so many things, from the takedowns, all strikes. But as soon as I had that opportunity to take ground, even if I'm not going to throw any strikes, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that ground so I can give ground as my main source of defense. But I'm going to take that ground and get back so I have enough room to back up. Okay, and right here, now I'm back to the fourth key, knowing when to trade. I get that head kick, and I'm just trading right here. You gonna stay in the pocket, then I'm gonna trade. So you end up bringing a lot of these keys together. Okay, again, let's get back to this advancing and retreating. My opponent didn't want to come out, meet me in the center. I'm gonna take all of that space, because all of that space and the real estate behind me is very valuable. Okay, he's missing his shots, and then I'm coming in and hitting my shots. You see that, backing up, retreating, and just all of that damage he's doing to himself. And that's one really big key. If your opponent is whiffing in this game, a lot of times they're going to be losing. But I'm giving myself that real estate, trying to stay off of the cage as much as possible and advance as much as possible so I can retreat when I need it. Okay, and that is the nuanced tip right there. Get a huge KO on my opponent to get the win right there. And those are the 5 keys right there. Got on the game really quick, went 5-0, and those are my keys to success. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Join me on Twitter. Join me on Discord. More videos to come. See you in the next one. Peace.